lightly and melts the seed shut.
I love it. I love it.
Uh-oh, gotta do this.
Oh, my coat weighs 10 pounds!
Is that Bigfoot?
I'll know about this later, okay? Good.
Okay, joke time's over.
Okay.
The leaves are dying.
Oh.
It's getting cold outside.
Yeah.
Something strange is going on. The smell of wood smoke pollutes the streets. Shadowy figures vanish from the corner of your eyes. Alien fungus mysteriously appears in yards and under oak trees. The darkness grows strong, sentient, aware of what makes us tick, swallowing the sun earlier and earlier. Fog rolls over isolated parking lots. Direction changes. What is known disappears. The spirit of summer returns to its bed of flowers. October has arrived at page 2 poetry at the Cush Cafe.
Fuck yeah!
I am your host and demented overlord, James Otter. I welcome all of you to the best in the underground, a sanctuary for the creative spirit in an ever-chaotic world. Can I get a fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah!
Yeah!
We are writers. We are artists. We are the unknown makers, practicing our arts, bringing our best, plowing through our fears, working through the hard times. Some of us are reading, others observe, and we are all part of this. Can I get another fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Look around you. Nobody knows everybody. I have a suggestion for y'all. If you feel like trying this exercise, go for it. Find a stranger. Introduce yourself and sit by them.
No.
Nobody should have to feel alone.
Honestly, it's cozy as an excellent.
You know, it's okay if not. I totally understand. You know, people are scary. I'm pretty scary myself. All right, enough laughter. I left the donation box up front. So, could I send someone who knows what that is to grab that for me and pass it around the room? This is my obligatory Halloween announcement. In the next few weeks, I will be working extra fucking hard. This Halloween is the annual page 2 poetry Halloween event. Yeah, redundancies, fuck yeah! This year it's the Serial Killers Ball. I have a few killers, one author, and maybe a couple people for the pre-show haunted house. I have costumes, scary homemade costumes. I'm looking for volunteers to help me with this show.
The box will lose me.
The box? Oh, it's literally, it says keep the dream alive. It's on the counter. But yeah, it's pretty, God. See, this is what happens. You add new elements to things, you know, it's like water, fire, earth, air, fucking platinum. What do? What the fuck does platinum do? All right. In the front of the cafe, there will be trick-or-treating on Halloween.
Yay!
You will have to go through a haunted house to get to the main show. Everyone has to do it if they want to see the show. It'll be fun. Doesn't that sound fun, everyone? That sounds fun as fuck! And you know, I'm gonna put a lot of detail. It's gonna take 3 days to set all of this up. If you wanna like sign up for any of this, please let me know. I need all the help I can get. This is an opportunity for us as a community to work together to put on the coolest, scariest show of the year. Way cooler than anything anywhere else. Fuck 'em. Thank you, Charles! with that said, we already passed the box round. Does all this make sense so far? Does all this make sense?
Yes.
All right, anyway, I have one other event planned, a pumpkin carving. I'll provide the pumpkins and the carving stuff and stencils. It'll be, you'll find out. I'll tell you when it is again and again and again. More on that at the end of the show. Thank you for listening. Who here knows the rules?
I do.
Okay, well, great. Tonight you get 8 minutes to perform anything. No personal attacks on Poet's audience. No hate speech, obvious. Give credit where credit is due. Turn your cell phone the fuck off or on silent. One more thing. By getting on this stage, you consent to be filmed. And if you don't like that, you can read in another part of the room where you're not being filmed. Surprise! Anyway, who wants to hear a new poem?
Yeah.
I do.
Thank you, then Charles. All right, this is called Carrie the Vulture Girl.
Whoa, spooky.
Carrie the Vulture Girl used to be someone's daughter, disowned at birth, forced to fend for herself at the youngest of ages. She grew up in an orphanage owned by an evil corporation. Her overlords were aware of the social injustices. There were places for Carrie, the streets and the back rooms of illegal hotels. It would cost too much to provide housing for every Carrie in the country. Instead, a select group was placed in temporary housing, subscribed and prescribed to mysterious pills. Carrie's body started changing. She became unable to consume cooked meat. Vegetables made her ill, and every day the garbage she ignored, festering under the sink, began to smell delicious. Carrie was not mentally ill. She was not unwell. Physically fit, the meds were in fact genome patterns from different species of vultures. It was an attempt to save her life, to make Carrie a more independent human, less likely to suck the milk out of the government's teat. Carrie lost all the hair on her head. Her teeth ached. Her body went through a new kind of puberty. A beak developed. It was a hybrid version, forming where her lips used to be. Carrie was no longer a target. She had become something to be ignored, too frightening to gawk at. At 29, she was humanoid. The human part of her brain had rotted out. Her eyes had gone yellow. Her mouth was a freakish combination of lip and beak. Her teeth were mini beaks, and her sense of self-worth was gone. The police force found her in a bathhouse, feasting on a decaying crackhead. She never killed. She only cleaned up. The cops chose not to kill her. Instead, they arrested her. Down a hole she went. The big corporation, nameless but for a single period, fetched her out of jail, sending her off to a special zoo, where she lives to this day, fed the bodies of interrogation victims and people who found out more than they should. Such is life. Yeah, I like that one too. All right, next up we got Jules.
Jules!
Jules!
Where's that donation box?
The donation box is right there.
Here?
Now, I tell you what, I'll just initiate a fucking...
Right here. Right here it is.
Thank you. I love Halloween season. It makes me very creative. And I've already composed 2 poems about it. And this is the first one. Halloween Fun by G. Julian Walker. When you're meditating on Halloween, you have to think about ghosts, goblins, witches, and pumpkins. Then there's the test of the witches, which is, which witch is the good witch and which witch is the bad witch? Son of a bitch. The right answer is that the good witch always wears a pink dress and her complexion is spotless. The bad witch wears a black tutu and her face reveals a bad case of acne.
I love it.
See if I can find the other one. But later on that one. "'Tis Autumn" by Henry Nemo. This is song lyrics from 1941. You tell me I'm acting silly. I'm not silly. I'm just chilly. You say I'm proving myself a goof. But for what I say or do, I've the absolute proof. Oh, Father Time checked, so there'd be no doubt. Called on the north wind to come on out. Then cupped his hands proudly to shout. La-dee-da-dee-da-dee-dum. 'Tis autumn. The trees say they're tired. They've borne too much fruit. Charmed all the wayside, and there's no dispute. Now shedding leaves, they don't give a hoot. La-dee-da-dee-dum. 'Tis autumn. Then the birds got together to chirp about the weather. After making their decision, and birdly-like precision, turned about and made a beeline for the south. My holding you close really is no crime. Ask the birds, ask the trees, and oh, Father Time. It's just to help the mercury climb, because la-dee-da-dee-dum, 'tis autumn. Autumn Nocturne by Joseph Miro. When autumn sings her lullaby and green leaves turn gold, then I remember last September, you and I, as we said goodbye, whispering that we would be returning when autumn came again. Now autumn roams the hills once more, but you forgot your vow, and here I am alone with my memories. Only lonely memories, autumn memories of you, love. When the leaves are turning, I get a hungry yearning for your arms, love. When a heart is sober, love, it shadows bright October's golden charms. The flaming moon reminds me of a night of love, a night that we both knew. Each tiny star is but a prayer that falls like autumn leaves, till you're beside me again to make autumn dreams come true. Then together we can smile and say, Amen. The Hollywood Journey. This is my latest poem too. The Halloween Journey to Golden Gardens. I don't see anything, said my passenger. That's because my passenger says, your hands are defiled with blood and your mind has been mummified. Now you can either fast on Ekadashi or seek the blessings of the gods, for there is a dimension of both time and space, a wormhole tunnel, a jump into hyperspace. The fog begins to thin as we walk the primrose path, past Laurelhurst, and just then we begin to hear echoes like French horns echoing in the forest. We stop for some Halloween magic as a smiling skeleton pulled us over. A cackling witch poked her head into the window. Where are you gonna go, sonny? A pirate with a patch over his eye pushed his head with the other window into the other window. Aye, matey, they be malice aforesight tonight. Go down Taney Laney. Now cough up some treats or walk the plank. A smiling, grinning parrot on his shoulder echoed it. Walk the plank, walk the plank. What a quaint way I be thinking to say trick or treat. I dropped a funky bud on his hat and said, go to it. Just barely clearing their head from the window, I pulled a hard right. Yow, said my passenger, take her easy. A dark cloud began moving over our ominous faces as it partially eclipsed the moon. A starship was then visible gliding in outer space above the moon, and just under the evening star. It's a roguish lullaby tonight, laddie. I still don't see anything, persisted my passenger. As we passed exploding weeping willows and conundrums of monkey puzzle trees, suddenly I buzzed with enlightenment. Okay, I know your problem now. I know it. Take another hit. Fresh air.
Oh, it's a spooky time of year. No, it's scary. And the election year was last year. That's the aftermath. And though I loved it. Always loving it. This is great. Big crowd of people. All right. I believe we have a new performer, I believe.
What?
I think it's your first time, right? Or maybe your second time? First time. Welcome, Krista. Okay. I'll take that. Oh, that is a beautiful guitar. Here, I'll turn this up a little bit more.
Testing, check. Ooh, okay. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear my guitar, but we'll see, I guess.
Would you like me to adjust that?
He's good at it.
Maybe you should do it, and then I can learn from you.
Yeah. Where do you want it? Do you want it more on your guitar?
I was mostly just thinking I could pull it back a little.
Yeah, pull
So
it
I
back.
get some guitar
Lower it a
maybe.
bit?
Yeah.
Let's see, I think that's the best of note
Okay.
I can do.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Forget about that alarm. That's the last alarm.
Hi,
We'll start you right now.
I'm Krista. I wasn't gonna do this, but I wasn't planning on reciting a poem, but it's like a poetry open mic, and I just wrote a poem for the first time in like several years, so I guess I'll do that. First, so I can remember it. It's called I Live with the Moon. I live with the moon. I have no rose for you. I have the gift of your dagger voice, the cradling of cosmic blossoms when your throat opens wide, and in it I see 1,000 stars, and there, white roses, brown, sweet, earthen liquor. I was nettles and honey drunk on your kisses, and I tasted you all the way to the bottom of your cup. Okay, this song is also appropriate. I'm just gonna play it. It's called Petals in the Offering. Okay, yeah, I'll play this song. This should be quick. Thanks for listening. The song is based on a Towns Van Zandt song. Anyway, it's called Wolf Creek. I went out to Colorado to see what I could find. I found my heart breaking in two. With a ghost in the garden on every Sunday afternoon. I went out to Colorado, and there among the columbine, I found that I couldn't make it through. Well, I couldn't make it far enough to get away from you. So what would it take for me to find a way from you? Feel like I tried 1,000 times, but how do you rise? Lower the mountains and the tall pines make you feel imperceptibly small, like you're a thin line. So what's dying when every night you listen to a ghost crying in the barn? I went out to Colorado to see what I could find. I found my heart
shake hands or a dart without hitting a crazy person. But you might also hit a talented musician, or a writer, or an artist.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up we got Brian.
Come on, Brian.
Hello everyone, I'm Brian.
Brian. Hey, Brian.
Today's poem is, what was it called? It's called Society's Vision of Bleakness. I want only to have what I deserve, yet how did I get such abundance like the Garden of Eden? It's what I haven't done yet, that these spoils are only to motivate me to earn more. How can one earn such earthly, endless delights? It seems as though I am given to just for being alive. The more I exist in this state of which I used to call abundance, I realize the never-ending potential for growth and sacrifice. The lessons of giving to life will always remain. For a long time I didn't care, but that's part of the abundance. Now my eyes gaze upon society's vision of bleakness. Maybe I can't see it or I won't, but I still know my nature is to give no matter what. It gets complicated though. Do you take food from the older to give to the younger? My sentience is my privilege and my sentence. Am I anything but the observer of my own actions? Thank you.
That's a real thinker, Brian.
Thank you.
Hey, good job, dude.
Oh man, this is great though. How are y'all feeling? Audience, how y'all doing out there? Good. A happy audience gets to leave at the end of the night. I mean, is a good audience to have. I like it. I love it. All right, Marcus.
Marcus.
Oh, right on. Oh, you have a page?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What?
Let's hear about it.
All right, so I mean, it's something I'm just starting up, maybe about a couple months ago, but it's my YouTube page that I, just like some of the stuff that I am writing, I am performing, I'm just putting on my page to get a broader audience, get kind of more feedback from whoever and whatever. All right, so this is about first love. Pretty sure we all remember how clumsy we were with that. All right. What's up, first love? It's been a while. It's been 14 years since I've seen you smile, but it seems like an eternity. And all this time thinking burdens me. I've been lying to myself like perjury, because my heart is still broke. I need surgery. 911, it's an emergency. My heart's been burned to the 3rd degree. See, I've been through so much heartache like you wouldn't believe. That's why I spent so much time in recovery. I remember back in 10th grade, you had picked the chair behind me. You clowned on me like every day. I had no clue that was just your way of showing me your feelings, passing notes around the class. When your cousin told me you liked me, I didn't believe her ass. I thought there was no way this quiet kid from down the street could have possibly bagged the girl of his dreams. I mean, after all, we were 17, and before it all, we didn't know a thing. But I knew one thing. You were the only thing, bouncing around my thoughts like a trampoline. The reason why I never went to church again, because you had that ass on your body worth worshiping. If you had the time, I was purchasing all of your attention. You were carefully written with perfect precision, but this chapter is not finished. I still feel it's only the beginning to a happy ever ending. I'm just waiting on you to wake up from this dream that you've been living. We were young, so excuse my youth. I couldn't have made the dumbest move when I took that girl to the school ball, knowing damn well it should have been you. It was the nail in the coffin. You waited long enough and I didn't make a move. See, my feet had tripped me up. You walked me home one night, you asked me why. My tongue was tied, I had no reply. I could see the tears building up in your eyes. Then you walked away. No kiss goodbye. That was the biggest shock in my fucking life. I was lovesick for 90 nights. The bell had rung and I had lost the fight. It's true, love is blind. And at that moment, I lost my sight. But maybe that was for the better, because you wouldn't have liked me in my 20s. I couldn't have ever expected to love you when I didn't even know me. And now your silence is killing me softly, but there's something that seems to be off key. I found my true calling. Now I'm calling for you, but you'll have me on hold till my face turns blue. And in every girl I've dated, I've tried to find you, and all I found were don'ts. No one else will do. Karma has came back, and now I'm facing the truth that this pain in my heart is just a preview. And I hope it's not true. I hope you come back to me. Don't turn this love story into a tragedy, because only your love could save me from this agony. There's a reason why we met. It wasn't just randomly. And you were always the last thing on my mind, like a Final Fantasy. And now I'm down on my knees. Please, I need amnesty. And you said I'd always hold the piece of your heart. And now I came back full circle, reconnected the dots. At the spot that you killed me and severed me off, I finally found my way home. It just took getting lost. And thank you.
You know, I was thinking about something. There's not a lot that's more painful than heartbreak. It's like you get hit by a car, it has lasting effects, sure. You know, I've been hit by 2 cars on the same day. I'm not joking, I'm serious. Yeah, that's why I kind of get weird when I'm like walking down fucking busy highways. I don't like them. But like getting your heart broken, or breaking someone's heart, or being in love. You know, that's something that lasts every fucking day. Whereas walking down the street, you know, I could go home, I could have a moment with a car that, or a dog or something that sets me off. But when I'm thinking of people who I could have been with, or who I've been with, or who I wanted to, that sticks around. Anyway, thank you, Marcus.
Ow.
And also, what's the name of your page so I can start following it? What?
The page is it's called M55, so M5 and VIP.
I want to know more. Yeah, you know, anyone, if you guys have pages or books, CDs, gauntlets, promote them! This is the place to do it. I want to hear, I want to support. Next up, Andrew.
You can raise the microphone, Andrew.
I'll just use my voice.
Okay.
Words like babies uttering unintelligible garbles, scream, rip, emote at the eyes of my paintbrush, yelling, hate me, though there is no image to mirror, no diamond-esque refraction to replicate to the ear, but just abstractions, paradoxes, yelling for the tongues to be interpreted. As if life could be experienced more objectively apart from my eyes. As if The tangible would be more real if I did not feel, as if words would be more clear if they did not need meaning, but I'm screaming in my dreaming because I can't wake up, and I can't get out of the reality that I'm in that lays before me an empty canvas awaiting my interpretive dance, but I'm still here, now, in shock, not knowing where to start, what part to begin with. I need an umbrella to protect me from the pouring words on the page, each one crashing into me like a semi into a pregnant mother. Crash! I burn, and my previous conceptions are inadvertently aborted because all the truths of life, death, the world, the heavenly hemisphere written on a page will not keep people from killing each other over it, though with the same ears they hear the same words when those letters, syllables, phrases, distant and relevant truths are internalized, digested, they come out of the asses of the believers as weapons to debate each other with. Noxious truth though it is, truth is not seen the same way by any two pairs of eyes. Even if they affirm to see the same thing, they see the same thing their own way, because I cannot, as a godlike ghost, transcend myself to see me in the eyes of someone else and to see the world through any eyes except my own. And what difference does it make? Because I did not choose these eyes, I was given these eyes. And I did not choose to be, I was given being. And here am I, a contingency among contingencies, trying to understand the universe. Truth is a lofty lover in the sky, inviting us to interpret the words on the page. After finished together we shall lie, having something beautiful for every age. And maybe the shoes I choose this morning will affect the rest of my life.
I'm surprised, Andrew. I'm surprised. Who left their water?
Not it.
Oh. Oh, so it wasn't a present from me. No, never leaves me presents. I gotta, people leave me presents all the time. I get presents like all the time. I'm not even joking. So, like where I used to live, I'd open my door and there's a fucking brand new glow-in-the-dark jump rope for some fucking reason. True story. Andrew, though. The lion. The reverend. That cult leader who owns the compound. It's the future, man. No. Thank you, Andrew.
Halloween.
No, it's not for Halloween. It's for spring. You know, who wants to go to a compound in October? Fuck that. No, you gotta be at home with your families. Well, we're your family now. Yeah. Next up is actually Erica. Is up.
Come on, Erica!
And hopefully it works out. Are you still gonna do the rap? Oh, I see. Well, let's see if the song doesn't work on here, we'll just use your phone. Is that all right, love?
Yeah.
Gotta relax.
It works.
This
Alright.
is Earth Radio.
I'm not ready.
Okay. Yeah, it started playing like instantly.
Gotta relax.
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 Just
relax.
Oh yeah, with Brian.
Brian.
Okay.
Brian.
And,
Okay.
all right, just tell me when you're ready. 1, 2, 3.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it.
Pain and marijuana are my only inspiration. Everything else leads to fear, frustration. I'm tired of all the bullshit in my head. I'm tired of feeling like I'd rather be dead. I'm tired of all the lame-ass excuses of why I can't medically use this.
I like it.
I want more. I still feel sore. Fuck the pain. Fuck my brain. I want more. I still feel sore. Fuck the pain. Fuck my brain. Focus, focus, I need a docus. Oh my god, I still need to smoke this pot. It's not my problem, it's my solution. So don't lecture me on my waste smoke pollution. I want more. I still feel sore. Fuck the pain. Fuck my brain. I still feel sore. Fuck the pain. Fuck my brain. I know it's not for everyone, and that's alright. As long as you don't take away my medical right to smoke when I hurt physically or mentally, so I can achieve some sort of normalcy.
Hi. How are you doing on time? Let's see. I think you're doing pretty good. You do you got like 5 minutes and 35 seconds.
Can I have a chair?
Yes. Can I have my soda? I was never here. Take it away. I mean, keep going.
Help me adjust this.
First you want a chair, and then you want. I'm crazy about this person.
Gotta get her a glass of water next.
Yeah, I had water.
Okay.
That was someone else's, but.
So,
Is that better?
yeah.
Perfect. All right, let's do this thing.
Okay, so this is a song I wrote after the first rain of the season. So, it's called The Rain. The rain fell down on me and washed away my pain. Summer's nice and all, but the heat drives me insane. Too much smoke, too much heat, too much sun being down on me. Fall is coming and the rain is back, and finally I'm free. I need the rain to
I gotta say, I feel like I'd like to give a special round of applause to all the musicians here, because I think most of the nights give musicians like 10 to 15 minutes. I give 8 minutes. So it's kind of like, it's really risky, you know? And I think it actually takes a lot of courage. You know, like, I can do that. You know, I play an auto harp. That's basically the cheat sheet of musical instruments. And, you know, I'd still be stumbling, you know. I'm fucking badass. And also give yourselves a big round of applause. And as a golf applause. Hole in one! Alright, next up we got Joshua! Yeah!
James, would you like to adjust the microphone for me?
Okay, is that better? Can you hold this one sec? Just hold the tone, be careful, it has supernatural shit to it, you know. Just be careful, you know. You know, if you see something when you're going home, don't look at it. Just don't look.
Alrighty, well, now, I have for you, yes, I brought all of the Blue Squid limericks. But I'll just read selections. Now, I also wrote another poem about finding oneself. I'll start off with that one. How's that? This is called Finding Myself. I went on a journey to find myself. Turns out I was hiding under a rock and wouldn't come out. Had to be coaxed with coffee and cookies. I was in poor shape when I finally emerged and mighty dirty. I bit a few times during the cleaning process and had to be forcibly restrained in order to comb out some of the snarls. There's a lot of work yet to be done in order to bring me up to snuff, but at least progress is being made. I am amazed at how easy it was to find me. I was right there all along. Okay, I went through and marked many of the best ones. First I'll read the ones. Does everybody know the story of the Blue Squids?
I don't.
Okay, somebody doesn't. Basically, I had a housewarming party, and my dear friend Charles, hand for Charles Castle, great poet back there, gave me a painting on blue of a blue squid. Now, blue is an old phrase that means sort of off-color, not necessarily pornographic, but suggestive, as it were. So he read to me 3 off-color blue squid limericks. I died laughing. And he's written 14 more. I've written about 17 more. And we're going crazy with this. And I've asked other people to do some too. So I'll read a couple from him. Then I'll read one from my friend Ben Gorman and finish up with me. Charles Castle writes, Betty Sue took a blue squid to bed. Marveled at its skill giving head. By tentacled spasms, she had several orgasms, and nothing between them was said. A squid made a young lady wet, swimming where few had gone yet. She came in due course when he slid back and forth. Now she keeps him up there like a pet. We'll do one from Ben Gorman. My friend Ben Gorman, back in Ohio, wrote, The squid, with its tentacles numerous, has a fondness for anything tuberous. One must learn the technique of avoiding the beak, or the results will be largely unhumorous. Charles then continues to say, with tentacles 10 like wet tongues, cunnilingus was 10 times more fun. She kept in aquariums 2 or 3 pariums, and wore them all out one by one. Well, this is too pornographic. Okay. Even squids can get broken hearts. Though it's small, it still really smarts. If he asks you for sex, be kind, don't neglect. He'll be quick and soon will depart. Oh, here's Joshua Mertz. She said, a squid and its slime beats a guy with his stink and his grime. Her sexual motion came straight from the ocean with orgasms truly sublime. One of my favorites, in order to augment romance, Bob stuffed a live squid in his pants. His crotch area wriggling set all the girls giggling, and none of them gave him a chance. Let's see. Oh, a sexual, sensual squid enjoyed everything that it did. It stroked her clitoris much better than Boris, and you'll never guess where it hid. She thought she had nothing to fear from the squid she hid in her brassiere. It nibbled her nipples, her bra size soon tripled, thus causing the menfolk to cheer. Let's see if we have another one. Oh, yes. Oh, a squid who was quite intellectual thought he might be homosexual. He coupled with gays in 10 different ways, but the stimulus proved ineffectual. And I'll finish off with this one. A squid, she said, is the best lover, hoping we'd not think less of her. With 8 arms to squeeze me and 2 more to please me, it takes me 3 days to recover. Thank you very much.
And there are more.
If not here, where else? I don't know, man. Squid limericks. Welcome Charles Castle to the stage!
Nope, excuse me. No squid, but I have a contrast of fish. 2 poems. First one. A contrast of fish. I don't drink like a fish like I used to. Water once ran in these reeds. Salmon are forgotten upriver. I'm fishing with coffee and weed. Mornings aren't as cold as expected. Boredom's our least nuisance now. Bad news is reported each evening. The tractor is parked by the plow. The challenge tonight's not to worry. Next season is due back around. Ice in the Arctic is melting. With no truck, we'll be walking to town. Wheat's good as rye, making whiskey. Fields are fallow, wells have run dry. John's sleeping, his wife's in the kitchen. Tilapia, too frozen to fry. So, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking about Halloween.
All right.
And I'm working on a longer piece that I hope comes together. It's kind of a multimedia piece, so I was happy to see something that was done earlier. But this might be an introduction to the piece I want to do on artificial intelligence. And I'm not talking about our president. Forgive me.
Nope.
I have not transacted today. Most saw it coming. Some took to the streets. Some were killed. Some went to prison. Some buried themselves in careers. Some hid in churches. Some hid in alcohol and worse. Others lived in conclaves, communes, and cabins in the woods. Some buried their hands in gardens. Some buried their heads in books. We elected to live our lives. It built itself around us. We elected it every 4 years. We paid our taxes. Some left the country. Some left the planet. Some left lives in tatters. Dreams were broken. Some died homeless. Some died in wars no one wanted. They said we fought for freedom. Now it wears the velvet glove on a titanium fist. It manipulates from behind a silicone veil. We kneel at the altar of transactional living. Soon we will pray to an AI God in the clouds. It will call us by name. It will know our soul better than we know ourselves.
Frightening thing is, this is very possible.
That's why it's so spooky.
But you know, AIs have one weakness.
What is that?
Cavemen. No, EMPs. EMPs. You know what that is? An electromagnetic pulse? Yeah, spray it with a hose. I don't know, man. AIs are scary. Like, did you ever see that movie, AI?
Yes.
Talk about friggin', oh man, it's like Spielberg's trying to Kubrick, Kubrick's trying to Spielberg. Oh yeah! No, but freaky stuff. That movie freaked me out. You know, ever see The Bicentennial Man?
Yeah.
Ever read this story?
No.
It's a good story. You should read it. All of you should read it.
Okay.
Read a book! Next up is a brand new performer to Cush, but not to coming to Cush. Coming up here, Sarah!
Comfortable?
That is comfortable.
Very good. Take it away.
The movie AI brought me to tears, by the way.
Yeah.
Everyone who's felt the same, raise your hand. Okay, I'm not alone. So, this evening I'm reading a poem. It's called Moving Out, Not My Disaster, Not My Catastrophe. This is about being anchored down and freeing yourself from that feeling. This fledgling soul has left its cave. Eyes are smeared in blue paint. All the quiet world is lit with candles and sparkling with dew. A merry-go-round goes round in slow motion. Faces fade and pass, and their whispers echo round and round in melodies so strange. The scent of grass and the lilies lift away the stains. Daydreams ebb away like frost. Oh, merry-go-round, can the convoluted field be lifted? I long to penetrate this haze, like the sharp green shoots of spring. There's a place where I can stand without tobacco smoke and soot. There's a place where I find solitude, and no one is there to point with their clipboards, with their cameras. You can quote this conversation for all I care. You can list the reasons on your silly questionnaire. I need no one, and no one needs me. Dependence is what darkness is. When you fall, there is a floor. It may be beneath a well, but you will find your chair. Everything is rooted to the deep substrate of earth. Problems pile like stones, from the trigger, from the hot seat to the surface, to dance naked in the daylight. But today I'll fertilize this garden with a watering and a moment spared. On a new day, with a turned leaf, a good gesture can be planted with tender hands. The old paint once white can be polished and shine once more. Today I'll forget the cars, the street lamps, the plastic debris blowing in the shadows. I'll ignore this webbed mirage lacing the dark corners. Toss away the spindle clock. Forget the staircase and the lock. This is not my place, and this is not my home. Begone burdens, and farewell to every barren field of cold ash and decay. I will pick up my spirits, put them back within my chest, and carry on to the castle, to the lighthouse, beside a hearth, to a table laden with bread, wine, and finery. The sweetness of the world waits upon you, and a place is always there.
Independence is darkness. Wow. Whoa. That was profound. Also, dependence is darkness. Like, that's sticking with me. You know, it's one of those things I might start saying from now on. Well, there's a lot of truth in there. Dependence is darkness because it's it's the opposite of independence. Independence, you choose where you go. You know, you want to go left, you go right. You know, you want to go right, you go left. That's stage left, I think. But when you're dependent, someone else decides that. You know, they control your fucking water supply, they control your food. You're no longer in charge of that. You get enough, but you don't get more. You know? I hate it.
And it's awesome! Tonight's awesome!
Fuck yes.
What?
Is something funny? Is there something funny going on? Nothing is funny right now. This is dead serious. This is page 2 poetry. All right, next up we have Beck in the
All right. The first one's called Notes on Autumn. Packs gather with impeding darkness, moonlit evenings of THC haze. Are we all wandering about the same exact maze? Looking at each other's wounds, these transmutations timeless, reflecting each other's light, basking in lovers' brightness. We seek warmth in each other's furs. We feast, dream, and are reborn upon the humble stage of words. Alright, this one's in like 3 parts, and the first part is called The Drawer. Long ago I tucked you in and locked you away, no longer safe for me. I did not want to play. Rest in pieces, my beloved, just barely 17. Here lies murdered femininity. Opening the drawer. I would pull you out in secret, every so often to admire and peek. Yet psyche split over whether you could stay, because tears would flay whenever you tried to speak. I'm sorry I keep abandoning you, haunted autonomy, mind bruised by abuse, lost in gender dysphoric fog, destructive lullabies wooed. I repeatedly strangled and revived muse. Emergence.
Ow.
Now the drawer stays open. I have forgiven him, you and me. Sucked out the last of the poison. Sutured soul and purified sea. I released you. Together we run, collapse, soar, and cry.
Shadow, it's been so goddamn long, but I never forgot how to fly. Always remembered the dance to our song. Come, let us take to the sky. Wow. Alright, this last one's called Poem About Pussy. Ow! Infinite layers, pulse, pant, and drip. Tastes of divinity. Subconscious portals of the clit. Her moony trinity. Worshipping the cusp of magic, my vow eternal. I never ever want to leave. Witness goddess unfurl.
You know what I wish I could do? I wish I could give everyone here their own illustrator, a book deal, or a CD deal. Because fucking hell, I would love to see that. You know? I mean, it's like I don't even need one already. Because visuality. But still, if I had that way to throw those types of opportunities out there, I fucking would.
Yeah.
No questions asked. I'd throw them like pennies at fucking people.
Pennies at people.
Pennies at people! Throw them like pennies at people. Next up, we got Dennis.
Dennis!
He has been gone a while, but he has returned. Dennis. Yeah, sure that fucking spouse. This is comfortable. Alright. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Since the last time I was here in March, I have a brand new pacemaker, but that's not what I wanted. And on Friday, I'm going to turn 75. I bet none of you can say that. Now, some years ago, I got hung up on the tanka form, which is haiku plus 2 more lines of 7 syllables each. And his first piece is a suite of 5 of those 31-syllable poems, all written at the same time and place beside the creek called Boulder Creek in the town called Boulder Creek where I live in California in Santa Cruz County. Here we go. So it's 5 times 31 each, and then I'll pause in between. Grab a handful of gravel from the beach and rank each rock and pebble in order of their size. That would certainly test your eyes. The sound a small stone makes when it hits the water is not the same sound that a really big rock makes, yet they partake in something. A pebble makes a little plink, while a plum-sized stone lands with a plump, and a fist-sized rock hits the creek with a real, actual kersplash. Crack! A young man breaks a little stick from a small tree across the creek, then throws it into what there's the San Lorenzo River. My main aditum. I got to explain this. My main, it means a special sacred place. I got this from Rob Bresney's Real Astrology, or Free Will Astrology. This is the last one. My main aditum. Here where dreams and memories collide within the rhythms of my spare verse, this vital crucible of truth. That's the end of that. Okay, this is a double tanka directed at a beautiful blonde bartender in my favorite bar in downtown Santa Cruz. It's called For Linda. So this is 31 twice only. I love your laugh when it explodes out of the nowhere din of this house of gin and tonic and the sweet sonic joy of human talk. You're the kind of dame that gives this place its famous name and swells the game we denizens harbored here have made it our business to play. Okay. Oh, thank you. Here's one. This is another double tanka. Hash darkens as it dries. Daniel said, leave it out. a while, so I did, and it went from yellow down, it went down in brightness from yellow to this light brown. Now it crumbles like brown sugar, and sugar, it sure is sweet to take a toke and savor that smoke till you let out its fine flavor. One last poem, which I wrote this poem today, and let's see, here it goes. This is called, it's a bunker stinker. You know, you're going to put on the wall of your bunker. It's called "Make Beer, Not War." Make beer, not war, seems to be the message here where Madison meets the tracks. A crisp breeze buffets my back as I sit outside beside the wandering goat, again admiring and reckoning this mythical crossing, still half in the shade of the tall grain miller's tower, where just up the street the brews are made from the grains that they grind right there. The real revolution is clearly here with these brand new breweries in old Eugene. See what I mean? Thank you very much. There's not a sick heart in any of those poems.
Wait, what?
Except I'm in love with that blonde bartender. I'm not sick.
In love with what?
The blonde bartender that wrote that poem for us.
Oh, they have that glowing glow.
She's gorgeous.
Tonkus.
I'm going to write that up for you. She will like it.
I love it. You know, screw school. Just come to poetry night. You're always going to learn something new. And also, you're not going to be in debt at the end. Thank you, Dennis.
Well, thank
Love
you,
it.
James. Where I live, we have a Labradoodle named Otter. Did I ever tell you that?
You don't say.
There's a compliment in there.
Labradoodle!
Isn't that the word? You know, it's just like we're just constantly finding new ways to just like take the wolf out of dog. You know, it's like I got this like bulldog. I named it Pinky, but that wasn't embarrassing enough, so I just named him Hanky. I'm like, hey Hanky, Hanky, get up here. You know, deaf dog. You know, so I taught it like this means come here. You know, I always get in trouble when I call it to me and I'm in public. Just like, Hanky, come here. You guys are awesome. This isn't stand-up night, it's poetry night. All right, come on out, Raven. She's awesome. And I trust her like Stan. Take it away.
So,
Can I film you?
yes you can.
That's it. You're already being filmed.
So, I've been like struggling. I didn't know. Sometimes these things catch up with me, and I don't know what's going on, and then it kind of hits me at night, and I'm like, wow, this is really fun. So I end up having to like write about it and deal with it, and I went through. There's a place called Fort Lewis, Washington, and I went up there for PTSD intensive care treatment, and so I learned how to take care of myself in certain situations. So I wrote this last night, I think it was last night, and it hit me when I didn't expect it, so I wrote this. There are times when I am reminded of my past. The cold is coming, and my body knows it. I felt it tonight. The memories of a time when I served in a part of the world where the cold was brutal. An adjustment period. I will learn to live with it. Some of the dreams will surface, and I will cope. This is one of the reasons why my living environment is so crucial. I have to have peace. A place where I can feel safe. Because when I am triggered or am struggling, I need to feel safe and have a peaceful space to nurture myself, to take care of me. I did not want to come home to my house tonight. I found myself desiring to go back to the place where I carried my little sister. To go back there and never come home. I am not sure if there are other veterans who feel this way, but I do. I long for the place where I once felt the fear of death come over me. When I lost the old me and my training took over. I came home tonight and felt like writing this. A soldier's journey. Ever feel like you never came home? Ever wish you had never come home? Ever wish you could go back? Ever miss it? Has anyone ever saved your life? Have you ever wished you could have thanked them? Have you ever dreamed of death? Have you ever had to fight for your life in your dreams? Have you ever felt your own blood flow down your face and into your eyes, turning your vision red? Have you ever died in your dreams? Has it ever happened? Did you ever hide from the enemy? Did you ever feel fear of being killed violently? Have you ever woken up trembling, scared and lonely? Have you ever longed to go back there and die? Maybe you want to be triggered. Maybe it takes you back to that place where you could have stayed and never have come home. Survivor's guilt? Maybe. My M60 had a name, Little Sister. Do you remember the cold steel and the hard rubber? Do you know the cold of the Siberian winds piercing your flesh? 30 below zero wind chill. God help me. Do you cry often from the torment of your life in another time? Do you ever cry because it will never go away? Me. Will it ever go away? The VA therapist. No, it won't. But you can learn how to live with it and manage your symptoms. Me, crying in front of the therapist. Do you feel tired of it? Do you? I do. Have you ever been good at something? I was. I was considered one of the best. All I knew, all I learned, all that I did, all that I remember has no meaning now. It is just a memory, and it haunts me. It will always be a part of me, and I will have dreams, and they will affect me for the rest of my life, of this body's life. And when I die, the dreams will be no more, and I will be free from them. The ones I knew, those who died, maybe I will see them as this flesh stops its breath, and we will be reunited for a brief moment. And then I will move on and be free from the pain of a time in this world that I once knew. And the memory of the blood will be gone, and I will be free. For now, I am just a mere gorgeous monkey suit parasite breathing in on this life-infested rock.
It's important. Thank you. It's important to learn how to like coping skills. You know, when it comes to inner turmoil, inner pain, you know, I'll open up about something that I'm sure plenty of you already know, is that I'm bipolar. You know? Yeah, bipolar. And so I live with extreme emotions every fucking day. You know, on one hand, I have this place where I can go, okay, I'll act as hyper and crazy as possible. But then I also have nasty temper stuff. You know, I recommend everyone learn healthy stuff. I found, like I say this all this time, and I mean it every fucking time I say it. This place saved my life. It has helped me cope. It has helped provide structure and a means to get better and pursue my writing as opposed to just self-deprecation non-stop.
Saved my life.
You know, this place is damn good. And I'm grateful. You know? And honestly, I'm glad it's the kind of place where people can fucking open up.
Yeah.
You know, where it's not like you're getting graded or judged on that shit. Yeah, you get judged. Be careful. I'll give you a C. But, you know, this place I think is an important part of the community, and I'm so grateful that all of you are helping me actually keep it alive and keep it going. You know, we're not advertising. We do it week after week.
Woo!
Word of mouth.
Yeah. Word of mouth.
But, you know, just help me keep the dream alive. All right, next up we got Savannah.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Green light, walk sign, countdown, 11, 10, 9, 8. You know the drill. Look both ways before you cross the street. How fleeting the breath can be from the moment exiting the comfort of womb, never knowing when, amor fati. The love of fate defined in the bodies our souls choose to encompass. Nothing is by chance. As we meet at the crossroads, seasons become greetings, reasons resonate as lessons. Won't you take a load off? Leave your baggage on the doorstep. Take it or leave it for what it is. Death is meant for us all. Stopped at the red light.
Ow! Oh, wow. God, new record. What was that, like 5 seconds?
28.
Shorties.
Shorties. Let's see. No, that's like a minute. But yeah, death's coming. Well, you know, but at least we don't have to worry about being immortal. Like, that's really the worst one. Like, which is better? Okay, quick poll. Raise it. Who would rather be invulnerable than be immortal? All right, quick poll. Raise your hand. You know, invulnerable. Bullets can't kill you. Cars can't kill you. You can just like do whatever. All right, who would rather be immortal and live forever and never die, but get old anyway? Yeah, you know, no one ever says, you know, there's a big fucking difference between being immortal and having eternal youth, okay? Don't get those things mixed up.
Next up on the agenda is Austin. Come on up here, Austin. Come on up. This is your second time. Am I right? Here, let's make it so you don't have to hurt your neck. Well, I mean, it's bad, you know?
Okay, so
take it away!
This first one was me sort of delving into wanting to write like a cantos, but then I realized that, you know, I was shitting on the toilet. I mean, I have hemorrhoids, so it's just like, you know, I've got to get this out, but it's going to take a little bit of pain, so here's that part of it.
Alright. Bring it on.
Can't take it, can take it to fake, can't take it to fact trick. Caked in, breaking crates, race straights, face race straight, base restraints, placate to retrace, place plaza, place clause, escape, slav, scrape, closet, mazalon, lace losses, but this shit isn't very A blade of Nate Swan, scrapes, rape, saunas, race, the race clauses, caught possible lost in a rod. I carry that big rod on my shoulder, the earth in my other hand, and ran up a boulder like a one-man band. But I crashed and mashed my index finger into my intrusive thoughts that seemed to linger after I rested those thoughts into my sleep pattern. I cantered a closed banner, but got stuck in a blown lantern, crammed in clone matter, the subject missing. I towed faster than rope and right gathered. My throat broke pastures, my globe blast Saturn. You blast right on the master, you are my subjects, though. And flown past the airstrip we are. I bit into you like an apple, and your skin is the flex between my teeth that only moves when my jaw flexes, so my reach projects, experiences met with my mixed resurrection, so you follow me like direction, like sight. So your ambrosia notion, no devotion, the vote explode in discordant light. Fucking damn right.
Wow.
This next one I also wrote while shitting. No hemorrhoids involved in this one.
Good to know.
Okay, this one's called Killing Gay Pot with Heat Death.
Okay, one more time. What's it called?
Killing Gay Pot with Heat Death.
Whoa.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Laundered solicited proverbs, robbed from loitering coppers, smoke mingled in my pot herbs, clock sure no confidential as the stagnant browser. So time confidence wears the starting blaster. I can make a pseudo-rapture like King, but I'm cooler than a cucumber. I lumber up and pick the carton out of a shirt pocket. I pop a cold Glock under that warm roof and sploof the smoke out of my mouth like a popped shoulder socket. Limp now, so stale and sauntering towards the end of the stage. The podium has collapsed on my broken toes, but I'm jovial with laughter. Security? Seems a sullen state. They watch the wounded rip his eyes from their origin as he gestates the waste that had built up inside the gray matter. It seems as if that very gray, like hollow apathy, is splattered out onto the crowds, and the crowd mingles with each other using only their frightened expressions as each tooth he yanks from his palate invokes the very taste of an almost decrepit human nature. The crowd is as lockjawed as him as the consolidated gaze locks onto me. Me? You can't stare at me. I am being more than being, and you are being you and less than you. So we can't dwell into this tragedy as escapade of you or the result of me, but of the kindling that burnt this whole granite world. Excuse me, asshole. But what else beside me to state what I know as paradox? Two pair of rocks, fast or slow, and you know as the cue to repress any non-conjunctive thoughts with an adversary that fights me in my sleep that I obviously assign as a foreign collected and conscious that is formed almost predilected to love and hold you until it jars you back in another layer of entropy's waves. I can practically bite, feel those brittle sun-cracked layers bend and ripple until they compound into the crevices of my molars, which I can imagine the tongue scrapings will only taste of cornstarch and nosebleeds. That me, without you, will be free of the tunnels with wave-shaped ulcers. No one will tell you the excitement of usurping my throne, for I am me, not one of you, but one of me, which is all of me, for I am one and all, so all not no one, you, but you are considered one. Well, I'm the only one of me, I am the only all that exists, the only me. So sure, you should stumble over the people in front of you just to tear a hole in my cheek, but you all are cowards, so I'll force that task onto my teeth.
Whoa.
Ow!
Yeah. So our next performer has a popular show on Netflix. I don't know if you've heard of it. It just had its 4th season. BoJack Horseman. I mean Jacob. Backwards. Then I spelled it wrong. Backwards. Who knows what's gonna happen next? You know, we could all turn into watermelons. Anything could happen. You never know. God, I hope we don't turn into watermelons. Don't do that.
That means we can't elope.
No, it's not. Don't you know what happens if you swallow a watermelon seed? It doesn't fucking digest.
It grows and grows.
It grows and grows. Take it away, BoJack.
Thinking is the soul of the meal. Underaged thinking requires your own supervision. People used to dope up octopi to apply negative pressure at varying degrees depending on the dosage. The origins of tentacle hentai. Well, that's the first time someone has asked me about that, Raven. And that was the first thing you said. Topics. What about them? Pockets are topics too. Question where to point at. Topically, it doesn't say this. Wonder what the first thing to write down will have been. When will it find the will to when all over it? Why? Why? Dad. Rah, blah, God, no, done, it was not enough. Sounds in that last repeater, poeti, poetum, ad fin, nauseos, dash of dash, I sticky alt salt in my crispy buns. Is your daddy a spit-covered baker's because half a dozen nice buns are on your ass cheeks, all buttered up and ready to shaft with my oven-covered staff, crammed in the dough, flavored trash, gluten-free bread in my trunk, not in the trash. Please take 2 loaves and split them into 2. Bring them to 4 people and can swear it's sweating into pulled bacon towards figuraccia, ceramic, bun-filled hideaway, pork bow, traded my muscles for a bargain in baycorn on the cube bog. Ew, stop the slop. Clicks in its own way through the bog, assward shifting its trajectory as it barrels its helical spine into a woven traction pattern, melting its fire into cannon so strong that the freshest sentence can only begin to describe their twin barrels. 1 crystal, 1 stone gray attached to a beam of gray and a rocket's opposite violent side, opposite turn bound together with a turbinic acid birdtine. You bank, we bank in shoulders 3 with a swerve, the dawning lychee chocolate, a little electrical choco crisp, chocolate ginger acid batteries charged in electrostimulated directly audio nerve in voltaically armed with standoff grade ampage cresting on the dolphin detectable variety dosed, just dosed, nothing else today, just soast, such soast say rutch roast. Shed its light in wee twee drush, undretch in harden, turn moo jer in a slonorum der, bounce ram in sarin through. Now I should funk work it, dude. I non to get away. Sundressed you bridge and CC Sosen time the downder and all he saw pine. Oh, Mike, you're nothing. Oh, woo, Gred, throwing her a race in sitting. In a slang in Solorado, in Saudi, I awoke Henderson, racking in breathing, shift. Bread pout in tear loaves crying how this is how I'm crying when I sing, this is how I'm cried ow I'm rod lingual hey hate rating foreign words in portmanteaus instruction. There, it's a douncing bundle of vocal word tandigalomy, blanded word daco in dreaming in sand, shake up lane. It's a lake, stakes in stance, shock work, sloked brella wordic sample in pregromama, steridea, burin treda, Pentrentaclasm in over it seems like a slimmic, a blacktic, anti-chested acrid on demanting with bleated Beth in mun deed it was the same. It I in C my in I dogoricorium in I was same I captain main it ten central truth in solemn trun mother rent the sky manned in stretched in like shall like insanely moi shush in the last life we wrecked. Camp on this, asshole! Stain my share black, por favor! Stain my share black, por favor! And it said, so why should I care? So rude. Dark, deep end. Training in the extreme emotions so we can vibrate at a level that is capable of synchronizing and integrating with the emotional turbulence and undulate in harmony with the form and bring it to a manageable level. Downshift with a clutch on the throbbing throttle. Master Tate forming resonant synergism. Open lifespan up for grabs. Granted, I can't grant this. Wish for a longer lifespan to you so we don't have to be worried about immortal and vulnerable mint mortal you dipped in candied oscillation.
Powered by what? Chocolate, dolphin meat, what else?
And sprinkles.
Yeah, man, sprinkles. Woo! God. No, I am hungry though. After this, I'm gonna go buy some batteries and put some frosting on them. Yeah. Just in tribute for you. Deep fried. You know, just visit me in the emergency room afterwards, please. Please. It'd really break my heart if you didn't. It'd just break it. God. You know, I love it though. I really do. So, we have one more performer.
Whoa.
And then I'm going to read a bonus poem, and I'll give you all an option. Yes. Finn.
Come on, Finn!
Right. Once again, I would like to start off by saying that I fucking love each and every one of you so much. And this community is great. Today I'm going to be changing it up a little bit by reading absolutely nothing that I've written. This is honestly, it is partially a distraction from all of the horrible things that have happened in the last week or so. The people dying and my friends dying and everything else. To the fact that I've been extremely blessed in being able to see and meet talented people. The two women that came to the song today, everybody that came up and read today was really awesome. So I have a selection of works that were not mine, all of which come with a little story. So my friend Jared, who I met very recently, came down to visit for a little while, is just to get some kind of profile on him. He's just the kind of guy who his very good friend didn't have a good enough camera to take light gloving videos. And so he was just like, oh, somebody kicked me down this scuba diving camera. It's like high def. It's not like quite like GoPro quality, but it's really nice. Just gave it to him. And it was just this really awesome guy. He gave me a bunch of crystals. And then when we were, after Zed's dead, we were eating some other kind of crystals that make you go, ah. And he read this poem. And it just, like, between how much I resonated with him and how much this poem resonated with me, I asked him if I could come up and read it. So this is called I Break My Own Heart Daily by my friend Jared Tyler Nims. I break my own heart daily. Don't look too far into this statement. I allow myself to hurt and I won't ever stop. I love hard and a lot whilst knowing the love I have for others won't be reciprocated. It can't be because I love too many and too few. And I'm always here but never around. Don't get me wrong, I get love in return and I appreciate every bit. The love I receive means much, and the love I give is what I live for. But I hope to find the love I desire, even if it's only for short periods of time, even if it isn't one person forever. Love is the only reason for being, whether it be love of actions, love of events, love of items, love of nature, love of others, love of yourself. Love is what makes this world of man turn. Everything in this world occurs out of love, whether we know it or not, whether we see it or understand it or not. We all live, fight, survive, thrive, hurt, help, grow, build, destroy, and learn and teach out of love. Now, many will debate this comment in their minds, but if you look deep enough, you will see. People kill for love or love lost. People aspire and inspire because of love. Love is the root of all things, of all good and of all evil. All desire roots in love, and without love there is only existence. So as I said, I break my own heart daily because I love. Because I love whilst knowing what love can do. I break my own heart daily so that I can mend it daily. When you mend a broken bone, it becomes stronger. I break my heart daily because I know that there is so much more out there to love. And with so much to love, there is so much to lose. With love comes pain. I break my heart daily to strengthen my heart daily so that all the pain that comes with all my love won't be enough to stop me from loving, to stop me from being. I break my heart daily because I love you all. I break my heart daily because you are all worth it. I break my heart daily to prove I'm still alive. I break my heart daily because there is no other way for me. I break my heart daily. No one else can break my heart but me. Sure, there is always the illusion that someone else broke my heart, but the truth is, the only one that can ever make you feel anything is yourself. You allow yourself to feel the way you feel. You allow others' actions to affect you in whatever way you choose. You are in control. You choose who you are. You may believe that others are in control. You may believe that others make you, but it's all an illusion. There is only you and your choices. There is only me and the way I choose to be and the way I choose to react. I choose to love and thus I choose to hurt. I break my heart daily because I choose to. I break my heart daily. I mend my heart daily because I love you and I am in control and I am free. I break my heart daily because my heart, my love, is me. And if the love I desire to find is ever reciprocated, I will continue to break my heart daily because nothing will change me. Nothing will stop me, not even death, not even love. I break my heart daily to build one, because to build one must destroy. In order to grow, one must consume. In order to love, one must hurt. I break my heart daily because every day is a new life and a new me. I break my heart daily because I love daily, and I hope to never see the day where I don't break my heart. For if I don't love myself daily, I won't be me. So again, I break my heart daily in order to be.
Yeah!
Did anyone here attend the Rainbow National Gathering in Oregon?
Woo! Yeah!
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. So with that, they put out a little newspaper that had several different poems in it, all of which were truly amazing, but this is the one that really hit me like right here in the titty, like right this titty. This is called Rainbow Grocery Store by Magic. I was rubber tramping down the Traveler's Highway when I needed a gas jug some more. Stopped at a colorful place, sign said Rainbow Grocery Store. As I got closer, the door flung open wide. A dready mama stepped out, said, "Welcome here, family, please come inside." I saw a bunch of hippies, there was tie-dye and dogs everywhere. One with no pants handed me a basket, said, "Brother, shop with care." Everything a hippie needed was in the Rainbow Store. And everything you couldn't carry out, there were Sherpas to help you carry out more. First I got some sage. Patience and love were in the same row. A little further down was understanding, because we need that everywhere we go. I scored a box or two of wisdom, a bag or two of faith. I couldn't miss the free hugs, they were all over the place. I was sure to get some spiritual healing, for the healing it was free. So I made sure to get enough to heal both you and me. There was gratefulness, gentleness, and thoughtfulness. I saw these at a glance. I knew I'd better get them now, I would have no better chance. I found 3 sticks of hope and a case of dreams. I'll share mine with you, I know how much that means. Then I started for the counter to see how much I'd have to pay. I thought I had everything I needed to live the rainbow way. As I went up the aisle, I saw manifesting, and I just had to put that in, because I knew when I stepped outside, I'd be in Babylon again. Peace and joy were there. They were the last 2 on the shelf. Heart songs and praise were hanging near, so I just helped myself. Now I said to the dready mama, "How much do I owe?" She smiled and said, "Just take them with you, everywhere you go." I said, "No, really, how much do I owe?" She said, "The magic cat has paid your bill a long time ago." I turned and smiled with tears of joy in my eyes. This will help me be a better rainbow with a brighter light. Thank you, I best be leaving. Seems like everything I got is both organic and vegan. So if you're ever in need of some personal things, there's a colorful place you should go where you're always family at the Rainbow Grocery Store. I'll try to get these in. So 2 at the Pirate Festival, I met a wonderful woman named Jean Dick, who, in partial trade for a wire wrap, gave me this chapbook. And she said that also came with the quest that I would have to read it, a couple poems out loud, and then pass the book on to somebody that it resonated with. So whoever wants this afterwards, please come up and ask me, and then.
You got like 1 minute, dude.
A limerick so witty I started to write, adhering to form with all my might. Limerick turned poem, much more prosy verse, a jumbled up madness that only got worse. Spilling from within, the words kept on pouring, meandering, wandering, yet somehow not boring. Brain all a flicker, formed words with my mouth, the moment when things began to turn south. I tripped on my tongue, pink slug, I stuttered. I've lost my place, I'm sorry, I uttered. Cadence broken, my speaking done. Strange, I heard clapping, hands one by one. What burst forth from the other, neither polished or rehearsed. A gem from beginning to end was the worst. Expect the unexpected, and add is true in sound. From among the mean and meager lies wonders most profound.
Sweet little collection.
She's really a wonderful poet. There's a bunch of really cool ones in here. A couple of really trans-positive
That's
ones too.
really
that was going to be the second one I read, but.
Well, I could say that's all, but I was thinking I'd really like to end the note on a deeply disturbing level.
Hooray!
Fendo, always a pleasure seeing you. It's been great seeing all of you. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you for coming out. So, I got one called How to Save Money.
Yes.
Yes. I have another one. It's also called How Not to Make. Actually, I forget what I call this other one, but it's kind of touches on some really fucked up stuff. So.
How to save money.
How to save money.
Okay, this one's shorter, so this will work.
Fucked up stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know. Well, I'll give you all a trigger warning, because I actually feel like this truly does deserve one. Not because it's violent, but just because of what I'm talking about. I started it. Not meaning to hurt anybody that mattered. I knew that kid. He was short for his age, skinny and underfed, dumb kid. Didn't bother learning how to count or play with tiles. I was always getting paired up with him. Gary grew into an angsty, whiny loner. On occasion talking to girls, maybe trying beer, never passing tests, always waiting for people to pay his bill. I didn't hate him. It was obvious to me he was trying hard, and I respected that enough to help him make a truly important decision. I gave him the extra push. He didn't live past 17. I told him the town would thank him. One less person to compete against. It was a good thing. Nobody would even notice. His parents noticed. I had considered telling them about our decision. Surely they would support not having to feed another mouth for the next 30 years. They didn't. Big shocker. I had a profound realization about the power of my words. He didn't want to live. Gary, I mean. I showed him the support he needed. I don't hate or love people. I got mixed feelings about the human race. It has vast potential for good, useful things. But nature always wins in the end. No matter what. My brother went hiking in the backwoods. I told him it would be a good idea. Leave society behind for a weekend. Think on who he is. Where he wants to be. Now I'm not sure where he is. My parents sent out a search party. We discovered a grisly sight off a ridge overlooking the river and most of the highway. I found something wet and fresh, long and linked. It was a cord of sorts, one within all mammals. My curiosity led me to grab it, following it down a windy animal trail until it was dangling above me. I was the one who found his torso and a chewed up ear. It was good to see that my brother had passed on in such a beautiful location. I wasn't sad. My brother had gotten to find himself. He is larger and more spread out than I will ever be. If anything, I was jealous of his catalyst. After this, my parents didn't like the idea of me leaving the house. I enjoyed sneaking out. Not for rebellion, more as a lesson to both of them. It would help them cope through the panic and the fear. If you want to kill, you have my support. Go as far as you want. If you want to die, kill yourself. It's a free country. People get to pursue their dreams. I'm not going to tell you no. If you want to kill me, I would be honored. It's my way of saying thank you for choosing me. I make a damn good victim. Make it hurt. Go in with all your passion. Don't waste any potential. As for people who want to live, you can do that, so long as it doesn't get in the way of anybody else trying to live out their own fantasy. I have seen plenty of people go out. One year at the fair, the zipper malfunctioned. 10 kids died, smashed up, screaming. I would have been laughing. I love the fair. I live for the rides. I can die by them. It's not weird to think like I do. Everyone should have something that pushes them forward. We all got goals. I hope things get better. People snap. I won't. I'm mentally and physically stable. I can see through the play put on by adults and kids every day. Don't get me wrong. Let the show go on until it ends, and then let it be slow. We all deserve a chance to feel the most out of our emotions, our nerve endings, all of it.
Yeah!
Anyway, the other one was lighthearted and funny. That was not how I think. Thank you so much for coming out. See you all next Tuesday.